got two Plains teams now facing off against each other. This is the true, this is like the true spot where we're thinking to ourselves, like, we don't really know. This is the great part. Baguette Squad, obviously, you know, they're a little bit lower seeded, but, you know, they made it. And Extra and Ritual were annihilating the competition when they were playing in the Plains. Like, there's no getting around that one. We'll just have to see how they do. With Extra, Ritual, and Swoopin, actually, is the roster that's on the field at the moment. So, well, I guess we will be able to see him.
Well, he's here, and that's something that we're happy to see because, of course, they played so well, Ritual and Extra. So for him to be on the field and Baguette Squad at full force means that this could be a closer series. And again, Baguette Squad are playing 3 series today. 2 of those are not going to be on this broadcast. So we'll see if they can take this win here and start off the week strong. See if they can move that one forward. But ARG are going to have a lot to say about that one. Things are starting off pretty hot on the orange half. Ritual off the side wall. Extra's going to toss that one across the swoop and off the back wall. Extra trying to keep this one in the zone. Ritual for the shot, and he finds a gap right there. No boost for the defender on target. 426, and they have the lead. And Ritual has just been such a big goal scorer for this team, or at least being involved, and Swoopin getting the assist right off the bat. Baguette Squad striking first is so important for them, and they do it here in the first 30 seconds. If there's anything I know about ARG, though, is that they're not going to let this one go quietly, so we'll have to see if they can respond. It's only in the first 30 seconds, as you mentioned. ClayX now for the shot off the pass from GCR, a little bit off the mark, but the idea is there. And this ARG team, they looked very good in their play-ins run, and they've looked pretty good throughout their iterations coming through other tournaments and, of course, the Rival Series play-ins. And, of course, they were very flashy as well. They have a lot of confidence when things are going well. Mark by 8 was one of them that really stood out to me in the play-ins. Keep an eye on him. Here we go. GCR wants you to keep an eye on him, looking for that double tap. Extra would have a say in it, though. Touching off the back wall. ARG looking to get their offense set up right here. Mark by 8's going to meet that 50-50 with Extra. Potential pass off the back wall. Finds a nice piece of real estate. Swoopin will be there to touch it off the side. Demo on Mark by 8. Not going to be able to slow down the ARG play, though. ClayX off the back wall. GCR just barely beaten out on that one. They're trying to keep it at the midfield line so far. Slow but steady pressure coming in from ARG. Yeah, and this is what we expected from ARG. That's the second ball to bounce just over the crossbar that an ARG player just couldn't get over. But this is what we expect from this team. But a couple shots have come out from Ritual, forcing some saves out from Baguette Squad. 3 minutes now are approaching. Swoopin and Ritual actually bump each other there for just a second at the midfield line. We'll open up a tiny spot for ARG to try and move this one downfield. Baguette Squad haven't had any problems pushing this one back to the midfield line yet. Mark by 8 just barely beaten out there. Swooping off on the side now, gets a pass ClayX, no boost left, but we'll get it off the back wall. Mark by 8's gonna be there rotating in time to get it away, but now Baguette Squad starting off with some offense, and being able to push it all the way to that back wall by yourself was important. We saw a little bit in our previous series. And ARG, a lot of pressure coming on now from Baguette Squad, and I have to give credit to Swoopin to beat everyone down the line there and find that open space and create an opportunity. And Baguette Squad kind of showing themselves to be a lot stronger than maybe ARG anticipated here. Obviously in the lead first, Swoopin doing a great job again. And here comes Extra now, trying to find that backboard. Ritual's up. This is the duo for these two players, this team and Baguette Squad. They can't find the back of the net there. It was a quality shot, but an even better read from the ARG defender. They're going to get another one right here. Mark by 8 responsible for that save. Going to try and clear it away, but no luck. Extra is there to keep it in the zone. GCR now trying to get out of his own corner. A back pass there, but it looks like they weren't quite ready for that one. Extra is going to have to play into his own corner, but so much possession for the Baguette Squad. It honestly feels like they've been pretty well in control. We've seen some of ARG on offense, but it never really felt too threatening, save 1 or 2 opportunities. Yeah, it seems a little slow coming out from ARG as well. Here's Mark by 8. A pass to the corner to nobody. As Ritual able to follow this one out. He's got a little boost to work with here. Can he make something happen? Immediately met by GCR. Baguette Squad not quite able to keep this one in the zone. ClayX now over to Mark by 8. No contact made there. GCR still able to make something happen out of it. But Swoopin not going to let that really manifest into anything meaningful. And he'll be able to push it all the way into the corner for just a second. ClayX will be able to get it off the wall. Mark by 8 going to respond in kind to that clear. 70 seconds now left.
ARG still searching for some sort of offensive opportunity here. This one off the sidewall could turn into something. Marked by 8 has GCR to work with, but Extra reads that one every day of the week. Another pass. Man. Nice shot, but not quite. Marked by 8 off the post the second time. I appreciate that you're trying to go for that shot placement, but unfortunately couldn't get it on the mark.
And that's some great passing coming out from ARG, but again, the execution of the shot's just not there too. Post hit by Marked by 8. You got to put that one away.
Now 40 seconds on the clock, and ARG are going to be out for blood after missing those couple of opportunities. They're moving it downfield here. Extra's way in the backfield, just going to slam that one as far away as he can get it. Clayx will meet it early on. Double tap into the blue corner. Bit of an odd touch there from Risual. Extra's going to be there to follow it up so nicely, though, all the way to the opposing goal line. So we're now in the final 30 seconds. All the pressure on ARG. Clayx upfield, met by Swoopin'. GCR going to push this one all the way downfield. Extra now off to the side. Maybe a bit of a mistouch, but it's still in the zone. No, not from GCR. And this has really been the problem with ARG. They're not able to put these effective shots on target. It just feels like they don't have the finishes. And as it's moving downfield, things not looking hot as we have 0 seconds on the clock. A demo on their controller. And Baguette Squad have the win.
And Baguette Squad come out with just a 1-0 win. And I have to say, ARG kind of beat themselves in this game. 3 shots come out, but really ARG hit the post twice. It was Marked by 8 who hit it twice by himself and just couldn't find the open space in the net. And so you go back and you think about this game, and I feel like for ARG, it's about shot placement and accuracy that could have really changed this game around.
Oh yeah, definitely. We saw like 2 crossbar shots. We saw 2 off the post right there, and I'm sure there was at least 1 more from one of the
There's
other
one more
players.
in there somewhere.
So, yeah, just toss an extra one in there. But in all reality, though, the woodwork doing a lot of work for the Baguette Squad, and ARG, as you mentioned, shot placement would be nice. I saw a lot of spots where it seemed like they were going to be able to take a shot, and they just didn't get it on target. So, you know, sometimes it just happens. You got the rest of the series to play out. Just, you know, accept the mistake, move forward.
Yeah, and I think that for ARG as well, they came out a little bit slow here in game number 1. Again, first time on stream, first time in the rival series for this entire team. So for ARG, now they got it out of the way. Now they're here, and now they have the opportunity to really take it to Baguette Squad, because let's face it, they had a lot of opportunity. They just couldn't find the back of the net. And Baguette Squad, while they did find their one, didn't really show that much more offense, dangerous offense against ARG.
Yeah, so it's a promise for ARG. I definitely agree with you on that front, Baguette Squad. Obviously, with that 1 early goal, you know, if they don't get that 1 early goal, maybe we see a completely different game. Maybe we see a 5-minute overtime. I highly doubt it because we saw a lot of aggression from ARG. But, you know, that's the way that it goes sometimes. We got game number 2. Baguette Squad looking to take a significant lead in this series with a win here. But with only a 1-0 scoreline last game and plenty of possession from ARG in the offensive end, who really knows? Let's get this one underway. Visual off his own back line, going to shun that one right over the midfield line, actually. Play off the ceiling here. Pinch down to GCR, swooping, trying to get in front of that one. Marked by 8 now with a shot opportunity. It's underneath the crossbar, and Visual can't get up to that one. They have an early lead.
And I love what Marked by 8 does here. Off the touch from Swoop, and he goes right past it because Extra thinks that he's going to get it, and he fakes the touch so that he could turn right back around and put the shot on target. It's a brilliant thought by Marked by 8, and it gives him a goal.
Yeah, with all the team plays that happen at this high level of play, it's very difficult to read that it's not going to be a back pass. So Marked by 8, an incredibly intelligent play, as you mentioned.
Well, you're always assuming that your opponent's going to hit the ball, especially at this level. They're going to hit that ball no matter which way they're facing, and the fake from Marked by 8 is a beautiful thought. There is Swoopin' and Rizzo linking up, and they're able to tie it back up, the Baguette Squad.
Well, respecting the touch on the opponents is important, but also getting that backboard defense is as well. And when you see that it's an open backboard, you're visual, you know exactly where you're placing that one. Easy shot for Swoopin' to put on target, and of course, very difficult to save for Marked by 8. He could put that anywhere on the net, and with that bouncer, it made it just that little bit harder to read. They tie it up rather quickly.
So now, with the response coming through, how do these teams adapt in the first minute? Immediately going back the other way towards the ARG side. Swoopin' tries to find the back of the net, and he does. I thought the defense was there from ARG, but it just goes right over the top of him.
I mean, it looks so good from Swoopin's angle. It's like, okay, yeah, he could put a shot on target, but he's not actually going to do it, is he? Is he?
He did.
Well, there you go. That's the answer. He definitely is. Swoopin' with 2 goals now for the Baguette Squad. Both off a very nice angle, I might add. First one, obviously, getting those backboard reads can be a little bit tough once in a while, but he pulls it off, and in one of the most clutch moments, getting that tie, and then also gaining them the lead as well. Now he's on his own back line, has to send that one to the corner. Opportunity here for ARG. Risual will be up first for that one, though. No big deal when you're in that position. But only a minute gone, 3 goals on the board. two favor Baguette Squad, and their ARG's looking for another one right there. Shut down by Ritual. Liking the aggression once again, getting that one out in the center plenty of times, but met every single time so far.
And ARG really starting to get that offense going, and Baguette Squad are just forced to throw the ball down the field to buy a little bit of time. That's a poor pass, though, over to Ritual. Puts it off the backboard, and Baguette Squad able to get out from their own end and try and keep some possession. Maybe a shot coming out from Extra, looking for the back post, not found. GCR able to push that one away.
And continue with it as well. A pass to Mark by 8. Won't give them much ground, though. Ritual was quick to dunk him on that one. Mark by 8 now with a great touch here. Unfortunately, nobody could put that one away. Back out into center, Mark by 8 looking for GCR. Good ideas once again. But no dice there. Mark by 8 over to clinches this time around. Couldn't put that one on target. GCR just a little bit too far back for the passes. And this is really becoming a common theme. ARG, they're making good passes. There's no doubt about it. They just can't seem to finish it. Mark by 8, he was able to finish that time around, but Ritual was not having it.
And still ARG on the attack, looking very organized and very disciplined. Baguette Squad forced to just kind of throw the ball down the field again. clinches now playing up, and Ritual, a good job just to break up that passing play. We saw what ARG could do in the last game, finding each other in the box, and a big save comes out from Ritual. The last defender goes from ARG, and it's swooping with a wide open net.
That is a huge dive, and you got to realize he's playing like, you know, risk reward in this situation. He thought he had the read on that one and didn't. Leaves it completely open for swooping. That was a hat trick on that little bit of an open net. So definitely pulling out all the stops for his team in this game. We're at the half. And ARG, a huge opportunity there. And you mentioned that save was so big. Getting that read on that one before it even happened it's so difficult sometimes. Swooping going to try and get a fourth goal for himself. clinches will shut it down. And Baguette Squad looking incredibly strong on their transitional play, on their passing plays, on basically just about everything so far.
Yeah, and I think it's great that you're able to capitalize on a big mistake coming out from ARG, and a very, just compliment him on saying that how disciplined they are, and for that last defender to just dive in like that. Here's Extra finding the back of the net again, and a 4-1 scoreline opens up for Baguette Squad.
And a great touch here from Swoopin over to himself, makes sure to win that 50-50, and unfortunately for ARG, that one went off the ceiling straight over to Extra. This time Swoopin isn't scoring, but at least he's got the assist, so my goodness is that man going off for Baguette Squad right about now. But a very solid lead here. 3 goals, difficult to come back from in any rival series match, but with only 2 minutes as well, this is going to be a tough one.
Well, we were talking up Ritual, we're talking about talking up Extra. Swoopin's been involved in every single goal so far for Baguette Squad between the 2 games.
Dynamic trio is now what it should be renamed to, but I mean, that's just the way it is. If you got 3 like powerhouse players, you only need one of them to go off on any given day. Ritual and Extra have always been the duo, but Swoopin coming out and absolutely annihilating for the Baguette Squad. Solid lead here, the final 90 seconds. ARG looking to get some offense started up. A great flick there from clinches. It's inside of the post there, but Extra, again, going to clear that one away. Another quality shot off the post again. GCR can't get that one to a teammate. And the defense from Baguette Squad, incredibly strong so far. Swoopin gets in front of that one from Mark by 8. What do ARG have to do to finally get around this defense?
Well, they got to not hit the post. That would absolutely help them so far.
Sure.
It's been plaguing them in the last 2 games. And now with Baguette Squad finding the back of the net, obviously punishing a couple mistakes coming out from ARG, but still generating their own offense. This is tough for ARG to play in this game, in this series, and Extra trying to find the 5th goal for Baguette Squad, and does so.
Yeah, trying and succeeding. I mean, there's no real doubt about it. A great demo as well, taking the last man out of the play. I believe that was Swoopin responsible for that one. So the physical play, and that, you know, Extra just has to put that one on target, which, I mean, it's tough still. I mean, off that crossbar, but he manages it. They are looking incredibly strong right now.
And ARG just have no confidence at all down the field. And there's just, actually, hold on a second. clinches almost finding the back of the net. GCR's got no boost. The follow-up from Mark by 8. They finally do find the back of the net, but with 44 seconds left and down by 3, they got their work cut out.
Yeah, and hopefully they get this a little bit of a confidence booster. It took a couple of passes, and they managed it. Finally, a passing play actually working for them. I mean, we've seen it shut down so many times from Baguette Squad, not to detract from ARG's potential to pass, because they've been doing a great job of finding each other. Something that a lot of teams find difficult when they're playing against high-level teams, and obviously, well, it seems to be the case right here. They might have another opportunity. It's completely open for Mark by 8, but he doesn't put it on target in time. Extra has the moment that he needs to get in front of it. Still an opportunity here. clinches to the left side of the net, but Extra is there once again to send it away. The Baguette Squad defense has been shutting down just about every shot that's not already off target from ARG.
Yeah, and you're looking at 7 saves coming out from Baguette Squad. ARG, they're doing just fine in the shot department, 14 across the team. 7 in favor of Mark by 8, and Swoopin', he doesn't care about ARG shots. He cares about running up the score. A 6-2 scoreline now for Baguette Squad.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any doubt about it at this point. Swoopin' is popping off in every sense of the word. I mean, his defense, he's only got 1 save, but, you know, he doesn't really need to have many saves when you're scoring 4 goals by yourself in a single game. So that's just the way I'm viewing that one. Final 10 seconds now. ARG, if they came back from this one, then, you know, holy cow, would they get a prize?
They would get a prize, but they're not going to get a prize here. With 6 seconds left, it's incredibly tough to score that many kickoff goals consistently, and I don't think it's possible at this point for ARG. And I have to say, Baguette Squad, they have looked extremely good. You know, I wasn't convinced about their Game 1 win. It was just a 1-0 against ARG, who I thought maybe looked a lot better in that second half of Game number 1, but they really came out in Game number 2 and showed ARG who they are. They showed their teeth, and I have to say, this is a statement game. 6 goals against ARG, and Swoopin' with 4.
Yeah, I think the real story here is Swoopin', because after Game 1, Swoopin' just said, okay, guys, you know what, that was kind of a lame win. Let's step it up a notch. Let's just go ahead and score, like, what is, I mean, relatively a billion times. Like, this is not something you expect. Maybe out of a 1v1 duel game. I mean, this is the kind of scoreline you could expect out of a close duel game, but this is ridiculous for the Rivals series. How in the world did he manage to score 4 goals in 1 game?
Well, and 15 shots coming out of ARG, and how many goals did they score? 3, and of course, a couple of them just came at the end of the game off some kickoffs of them being scored on. So for ARG, you've got to convert. You have to have a higher conversion rate than 15 shots for 3 goals. It's a tough one here. And I think that for ARG, if they do start finding the back of the net, then this series might change around. But of course, now back's against the wall. 1 game left for Baguette Squad to close out this series, and ARG have a long road ahead of them if they want to take this one.
Yeah, and you're mentioning they're trying to convert, but, you know, it's hard to convert. I mean, sometimes they're hitting the post. Granted, sometimes they're hitting the post. It's hard to convert when you've got 3 absolute monsters in the net who will be able to read anything you throw at them for some reason. And I think that in itself is why Baguette Squad are proving that their All-RS plan was not a pop-off. This is just them.
And that is what's kind of scary, too, because, again, this was a 19 seed that came through, and a lot of people brush off seeds that are closer to 20s and maybe past 10, 15. And I have to say, for a team to not only qualify, but then perform on their first debut, of course, they haven't finished out the series yet, but so far, it's looked good for Baguette Squad. It's impressive.
Well, it looks impressive so far, but that first kickoff goal in the first 4 seconds, hopefully this isn't representative of how they're going to do in the rest of the game. Visual just not ready for that one. I suppose that's the end of that story.
And this is great for ARG. They finally get on the board first. They haven't really scored that many goals. It's their 4th one here in 3 games, and I have to say they're starting off on the right foot at least.
Starting off on the right foot, but I'm sure they would like to take the lead by that 1 in the final 10 seconds, because there's plenty of time for Baguette Squad to respond. And again, you mentioned they haven't closed out the series yet, so ARG could very well turn this one right around. We will turn this game around.
And we've seen glimpses of greatness from ARG, especially in game number 1, and we really haven't seen that since. It's just been all Baguette Squad. So if ARG can find what they were doing in game number 1 and kind of emulate that here in the next few games, which they would hope would be the next few games, they would have a real shot of reverse sweeping.
They're able to maintain the lead. They had some decent pressure as well in the opening seconds. A great boost grab there from Extra, I might add, to keep the offense from coming on too strong. Coming off the back wall now, couldn't get it past Mark by 8. It's out of the corner. Swoopin' going to be quick on that ball, trying to get to the back wall, maybe make a play by himself. I mean, star striker from last game. Visual to Extra. Good passing play. It's off the back wall. There's still a chance here. Visual is going to try and play it again. Bit of a double commit there. Will drop off to the corner, and no touch from Extra will allow GCR to move it downfield. Looks like Baguette Squad will be able to field it out of their own backfield, but some quality stuff already.
And I love the passing plays coming out from Baguette Squad. It's something that we pinned down from the Rival Series play, and they're doing it again. And they really put on the pressure from the ARG defense. You saw them in a little bit of a panic the last passing play that came through for Baguette Squad. That's a big mistake, though, on the Baguette Squad side. Easily turned away, though, by Extra.
Just over a minute and a half gone now. Things looking relatively solid on both ends of the ball, not going to lie. And that's a bit of an awkward touch. Clex will be there in time. Over to Mark by 8. Good speed on that one. Straight to the blue corner. Will they be able to play it? No, not any further. Extra Now over to Ritual, into the back corner. That's a great setup. Swoopin's there, and they find the bottom left-hand side. And ARG's covering all the parts of the net. Swoopin just does a great job of finding that one little bit that's tough.
And it's just a tiny little hole that he finds in the near post here. And ClayX and GCR were there. GCR just didn't cover the front post enough. Swoopin puts it through, and Baguette Squad able to tie it up.
Star Striker from game number 2 coming out strong for game number 3, scoring their first goal. Quality passing play involving all of the players as well. Can't detract from that. So Baguette Squad tied up here. As we approach the half, ARG starting up on the offense right here. Mark by will respect that touch and remain at the midfield. Great 50-50. But Swoopin will easily play that one off to the side. It finds a Ritual. Great dunk though. Clay's going to keep this one relatively in the zone. High pop from Mark by GCR. We'll try and make something of it, but at this point, it really feels like ARG is reaching to keep this offense alive. They're just trying to set up their rotation, grab some boost, and make sure they're set.
And Baguette Squad kind of finding themselves on defense a little bit more here in this game. ARG being a little bit more coordinated as they move down the field. That ball given away straight to Mark by 8, but give it up at the top of the goal here. Again, Mark goes up for it. ClayX is there. Can he put this one on target? No, it's turned away by Ritual. GCR waiting in the backfield. He's actually beat here as Baguette Squad tries to make a break for it downfield. Mark by 8, able to pick this one up.
Quality pass onto the back wall as well, but Ritual there to meet it. And I will say, Baguette Squad have had some quality reads, and that is a quality read if I've ever seen one. Going onto the ceiling, being so bold as to pre-play your opponent by going onto the ceiling to read that touch. Getting them that little bit of extra time, but ARG is already moving into the backfield once again. This one's off the wall. Ritual going to be up in the air, has to play the dunk on that one. Will fall over to Swoopin though for the long clear. And it feels like Baguette Squad are just kind of reaching to get any offense started up. Great demo right there. That's going to leave it completely open, but ClayX is able to get in front of it in time. Such great reflexes now. Pass downfield over to Mark by 8. Will find its way through. Swoopin racing back, but not in time.
And that's what you want from ARG. The quick transition to the counterattack. ClayX passing it across to beat the last defender. Mark by 8 right next to him to put this one away. And ARG in the lead with a minute and a half left.
And finally, they beat out someone on Baguette Squad definitively. We haven't really seen too much of that. I mean, sure, they've beaten the opponents to the ball once in a while, but we haven't seen a play where it's clear that they just outplayed their opponents, and that was finally the play. And here's ClayX looking for another one. Mark by 8 for the shot to finish it off underneath the crossbar, and a quality one at that. They finally got that accuracy that they desperately needed.
Mark has been scoring so many goals here for this ARG squad, and this one backs off the wall and comes straight out to Mark by 8. He puts a shot with pace to the top shelf, and he finds the back of the net. A 3-1 scoreline now for ARG.
ARG doing their best to remind the Baguette Squad that the series is not quite over yet. There's still a fighting chance. 70 seconds now on the clock, and with a 2-goal lead, they got to be feeling relatively confident about this one. Baguette Squad not nearly as loud as they were before, and Ritual getting taken out there definitely won't help this offense. ClayX going to easily shut that one down. Superman comes in fast, but GCR will be there to meet it. Final minute of gameplay now underway. GCR marked by 8, playable on this ball. Bit of a miscommunication there, but shouldn't hurt him out too much. ClayX for the shot on. Extra will easily meet that one, but at this point, ARG are more than happy to just keep it in the blue end for the remainder of regulation.
And GCR just throwing this one downfield, making it tough for Extra, for ARG that just want to make life miserable for Baguette Squad and not even let them have a chance on their own net. Marked by 8 and GCR in their own corner here, just trying to find a way out. Ritual putting on the pressure. We're under 30 seconds now for Baguette Squad. They got to go. They've got to get one soon here in about the next 10 seconds or so they give themselves a little bit of time off the kickoff. Marked by 8, trying to put this one away, and GCR does it. A 4-1 scoreline now, and ARG is going to take game 3.
And when Baguette Squad, we thought they had the goal line locked down last game. That is not the story here. ARG have gotten over it so many times. It's amazing. You know, how much can change in just one game? ARG, they had, what was it, like something around 14 or 15 shots last game on only 3 goals. Now they have 9 shots on 4 goals. That's so much better. And Baguette Squad haven't been scoring nearly as much. The ball's been spending too much time on the blue half of the field. You can tell that ARG definitely playing a little bit different. I think it's definitely for the better.
Absolutely. Like I said, being a lot more disciplined downfield, something that I expected from this team from the beginning that we really haven't seen, but we finally see it here in game number 3. ARG get their first win on the board, and they give themselves a shot here on the first time on stream.
Yeah, I mean, I want to take a look at the assists as well, because make sure you note this. 4 assists on 4 goals, where ARG seemed to be having some trouble making effective passing plays in games 1 and 2. Now they have done exactly that. So important stuff to note, as you mentioned. Mark Baguette, clearly the star striker for them here in game number 3. And Baguette Squad relatively quiet this time around. Like I mentioned, no offense basically whatsoever. Only 2 shots in total. That's not an indicator of a strong defense, or they didn't even have to play defense, let's be real. That's just an indicator of strong play.
Yeah, and I think, again, from Baguette Squad, they found themselves in a tough situation on defense a lot that resulted in poor attempts downfield on offense. And we didn't really see the same type of Baguette Squad that we saw in the first 2 games. Obviously, they put up, 6 goals in the second game, and all of a sudden now they're reduced to 1. And I think it's ARG picking up on both sides of the field, not only on the defensive side of things and not letting people like Swoopin, who have just been having one heck of a day here, run amok in their final third, but of course also putting on a lot more pressure to the Baguette Squad. We talked about how they're making a lot of great saves, and it's good when you're able to do that, but when you have a lot of saves that you have to make throughout a series, that's where it gets a little bit more scary, because you're on defense a lot more and you're eventually going to crack.
Yeah, I mean, ARG have just been doing such a fantastic job. I feel like, I honestly want to say, it may have been a little bit of Baguette Squad getting a little bit complacent with their situation. Honestly, scoring 6 goals in game number 2, that was a bit much. So maybe they thought to themselves, all right, guys, it's not going to be a big deal. Let's just do that next game. And then they learned quickly that ARG are not going to let that happen, at least not on their watch. So now for game number 4, I'm gonna be watching. Does Baguette Squad start to play with a little bit more respect for their opponents, or is it just gonna be another absolute floor wipe in favor of possession of the orange team?
Well, we'll find out here. Again, the pressure is on ARG. They've got to win the next 2 games if they want to walk away with this series. And for Baguette Squad, how about a passing play between who else but Extra and Rizrul to find the first goal of the game?
This is just awesome to see. A great dunk from Extra straight over to Rizrul as well. It's like he made that dunk play, and it seemed to just gravitate towards Rizrul. Every single time they seem to touch the ball, it's towards each other. And my goodness, that is a good way to start.
Much better way to start. And again, they only scored 1 goal in the last game, starting off here in the first 20 seconds, finding the back of the net, putting ARG on the back foot immediately is what you want to do. The more pressure you can put on a team that are trying to reverse sweep you, the better.
Yeah, and it's going to give them definitely that little bit more confidence that they need as well. ARG scored the first goal last time around, but Baguette Squad realized that they might be able to take control of this game early on if they do some work. And I'm going to be watching Swoopin as well. Obviously, the striker who's been doing fantastic for them this series so far. Long clear downfield to get ARG out of the offensive half. We've completely lost our first minute now. Baguette Squad with only a 1-goal lead. GCR actually taking out a man in the backfield, trying to slow down their rotations, and Swoopin is also taken out of the play as well. Nobody for the challenge, but Extra quick on that ball. Going to make sure that ARG can't push out as a result. That's a very heads-up play, I'll say. Yeah,
a great fake there from GCR to get that defender to go. And it buys enough time for Mark Baguette. Might have another touch off the back wall met by Extra there. Baguette Squad feeling more pressure now from ARG. Clayx actually does get the dunk on Swoopin. And here comes GCR trying to find the pass across. The shot almost to the back of the net. Swoopin had to come in and take it, but another dangerous shot turned away by Rizrul.
Yeah, and honestly, we have to look at this. I mean, I really appreciated that dunk by Clayx. It was some time ago, but think about it. They're still in the offensive end because of that aggression. When they're starting to be able to read these touches from the Baguette Squad, this might be one of the reasons they were able to keep up so much pressure in the last game. Weren't able to convert a goal out of it, but some effective shots on now. Rizrul, oh my goodness! Mark Baguette, you crazy man. That was a risky clear, but there you go.
Clear's a clear in my book, and he does get it out. Not maybe with the heart rate that we would all want, but still, Baguette Squad into their own corner. Extra does a great job pushing this one downfield, but again, it's just straight to an ARG player. And look at all the time and space that Mark has to play with this one, eventually given up, but followed up by Clayx. And this is the drop down, looking for GCR, playing it slow. The patience coming out from ARG is what we expected from this team right off the gate. They're showing it here, trying to go for a demo was GCR, not able to find it, but this pressure from ARG and just the time in their final third, the time with possession is what they want if they want to create chances.
And they're doing a great job. You mentioned that they're playing a little bit patiently. I've noticed that as well. They're making a point of kind of letting the Baguette Squad try and take it away from their players, only to realize that you've just hit it straight to another ARG player, and now they've got that man upfield he doesn't have to worry about the ball. He's completely free to be open for a passing play. So a little bit of, 500 IQ mind games, a good passing play there, but a little bit too slow for ARG's defense to not be able to read that one.
And I like the passing plays come out from Baguette Squad. It really is their bread and butter. I'm so sorry for that one.
My
That was going
goodness.
to drop down for Extra. You got to be kidding me with that play.
Extra, please, calm down, dude. They have a family. You can't just triple tap this like it's nothing, you know? Jeez.
And he does. And Baguette Squad looking to take this series. Time is slowly running out for ARG, and we talked about it. It's great for them to have pressure. They got 3 shots from Mark by himself, but they have not found the back of the net.
And they haven't been able to keep the ball in the blue half as effectively as in Game 3 either. That's a big part of it, because if you just throw 1 or 2 shots on target, it's going to be easy for Baguette Squad to save it away, but we've seen that they don't do necessarily so well with continued pressure from ARG. That is specifically what they seem to lack. So Baguette Squad now, solid lead of 2 with the final 90 seconds now on the clock. Gonna be a difficult situation for ARG, but a nice passing play setting up right here. Mark by 8 gets it past the last man. Is anybody in position? GCR couldn't get it there early to the ball, has to play with the 50-50, and unfortunately will be moved to the midfield.
ARG starting to feel the pressure of time, coming up on a minute left. Still more than enough time to get 2 goals here, but you really got to start the clock here on the comeback. That's a great pass out to GCR, maybe a shot coming over, but Baguette Squad, you've mentioned it throughout this series, have just been there every step of the way. Every single ball that's on target or just above frame, there is a Baguette Squad player there to turn it away.
And I like the demo idea, because that would really detract from their ability to do exactly that. But the demo seemed to just put the player back in the position where he's most likely to go up onto the backboard. So it's really the worst of both worlds. You got a guy that's either going to go onto the backboard of his own accord, or you're going to send him there by yourself. You have to find that perfect spot to take out the Baguette Squad player, because demos might be the only key for them at this point. But if you're on your own end, you can't do anything about this. There's so many things out of favor of ARG right about now. I cannot even describe. They need to score with regulation left. We're in the final 20 seconds. In Ridgewell with great control. This ball does not get the flip reset there. Mark Bay will drop it into his own corner. Swoopin doesn't even have to touch that one. ARG in a complete panic at this point. And if they are, then they definitely should be. The final 10 seconds now ticking down. Extra just going to waste more and more time. No boost on that man down. We have 0 seconds. 2 goals in favor of Baguette Squad, and there is no way you can come back from that one. A 3-1 victory in their favor. That was so solid